So thank you guys. Sorry.
Okay, we're live.
Audience members waiting for us.
We're live.
Hi, this is Katie with expert clients talking abandoned cart today, as well as a little bit of conversion techniques too. So already enough about me. I want to talk to these guys that we have here. So let's go ahead and introduce Austin first. We have orchardcorset.com. Austin works for orchardcorset.com. Actually, Jess will go ahead and chat the URL to you so you can go and check out the website and see what's going on. But Austin, if you could tell us a little bit about you and your business, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, well, as you already said, I work at orchardcorset.com. I run the IT department side of things, so pretty much just managing BigCommerce on the day-to-day and all its customizations. We're kind of like the biggest manufacturer and seller of what we call authentic steel bone corsets in the world right now. We ship somewhere around 150 to 200 a day, depending on the day, which is pretty substantial considering it's corsets. We're selling 200 corsets in a day.
We really like to be thin as women, I guess. I don't know. That's awesome. I love it. So thank you so much. So next we actually have Dunya. Dunya, hello. She's from thisandthatforkids.com. So This and That for Kids, and Jess is going to help you out with that URL for the audience. So tell us a little bit about you and your business.
We're located in Miami, and we sell children's clothes. We've been in business in the website business. We've been in business for a long time. But in the website, we started maybe about 3 years ago and started using BigCommerce, and we've been doing great so far. We use a lot of social media, so that helps also.
Double thumbs. Socials are great. I love it. Okay, last but certainly not least, we have Greg from The Broken Token, which I just like to say, .com. Tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Hey guys, I'm Greg Spence. I'm the owner of The Broken Token. We're located here in San Diego, California. I started the business about a year ago out of my garage. It was something I just started as a hobby for myself, and it's just been growing and growing. We now got 4 full-time employees and dedicated warehouse space, and we're growing, adding new equipment all the time to meet the demand. And we've been using BigCommerce since the beginning. We're really happy with the system. It's doing great for us. And so, yeah, we're just here. Oh, yeah, and what we do is we make gaming accessories for board games and card games. So things like box organizers, storage solutions, ways to upgrade your game with acrylic tokens, and all kinds of cool customized stuff. So it's been working out really well, and we're just continuing to grow with BigCommerce.
Very cool. I love it. So we got people who've been in business for quite some time, which is very exciting. I'm sorry, Dunya, go ahead. Oh, she was in the middle of talking to someone. So, audience members, if you have questions for our panelists, expert panelists as a matter of fact, please feel free to pitch them in the chat feature, and Jess will toss them to us so that we can get them taken care of for you. And I'll remind you periodically throughout the time. So, first question, wasting no time. Greg, if you'd actually let to field this one, it's just, we all love the abandoned cart feature. That's kind of what we're here to talk about today. But, of course, we want to see any tips that you can provide for optimizing conversions during that checkout process so you don't lose people and then have to use the abandoned cart, which no matter what, you're going to lose people. But is there anything to kind of streamline the process that you really love and have found really effective?
You're directing that to me?
Yeah.
So part of the checkout process?
Anything that you do to kind of optimize the checkout process at all. And maybe you just use BigCommerce just as it is, which is totally a legit answer as well.
Yeah,
if the abandoned cart feature and BigCommerce work well together, awesome. Or maybe you've taken some customizations.
We haven't actually really done a lot of customization other than just customizing the look and the feel of the site and trying to keep a nice, simple, clean design, making sure that it's very easy for people to find the information they're looking for, going through and removing components from the pages that they don't need so that they're not overloaded with, you know, the newsletter sign up and all these other widgets on every single page. Try to keep them focused on the actual checkout process. Of course, we want to put call to actions on things like our carousel banners to encourage them to go ahead and make that purchase. But yeah, so far that's been working great. And then when we decided to go ahead and upgrade to the package with the abandoned cart feature, we've noticed that increasing a significant number of people.
I tapered off a little bit there at the last. What were those last 2 sentences?
Oh, once we decided to upgrade to the abandoned cart package, then we noticed that significant orders back up.
Man, I missed the last part again. You what? A lot of feedback.
I don't know if it's me cutting out or not, but Yeah, once we just recently upgraded the cart package a couple of months ago, so that's helped bring back some additional orders.
No matter what, I think it's raising revenue. I think that's something that people. I think it's like it's debatable. So 70 to 80% of revenue is left in the cart on average. So you need to be doing something about that, but you can make improvements along the way of the checkout experience to try at those people. Someone got feedback. I'm not sure who it is, but we'll try and find them. So, Austin, do you guys have anything you want to add about optimizing the checkout experience on your website? Make sure that you have as few abandoned cart opportunities as possible.
Yeah, most of the things on the checkout page that we've found need for improving on are kind of surrounding shipping, I guess. And so mainly like just making sure that the shipping estimates are very, very clear to the customer, because otherwise, they'll want to come back and talk to you about the shipping estimates instead of actually just purchasing the item right then and there. And then giving them proper information on, like, a lot of customers get very confused about the concept of overnight shipping. They think that if they order Friday night with overnight shipping, they're going to receive it the next morning. But that's simply not how it works. So we have to be able to detect when the customer thinks that's going to happen and show the messages appropriately to make sure that they know exactly what's happening through checkout as far as when their package is actually going to arrive, and if they're going to be charged customs duties and such. And have all the information necessary about the shipping method, what carrier it is, because a lot of customers want to know that. If your shipping method says, standard free shipping, and that's all you've got, you're probably going to have some customers calling you before they even order when they were ready to order,
Got it.
So that's most of what we've found and changed on the checkout page.
So when it comes to shipping, do you have like a banner notification or something like that, or how do you communicate that information?
I'm sorry, what?
How do you communicate that shipping information during the checkout process? Is it more, is it banners? Did you do like some custom scripts, or how did you get that to work for you?
We did a lot of customization on the cart page. For example, anytime you select the overnight shipping option, the page will make a request to a server we built that gets the local time of what it is right here in Wenatchee, where we ship products from. And it'll calculate if you're on that shipping cutoff, and it'll say, your package won't be there tomorrow if you order today, basically. And then we have a custom message that pops up in the form of a lightbox as well. So we use kind of lightboxes and just some custom JavaScript to generate that kind of stuff. And then we also used a lot of JavaScript and jQuery on the shipping method page to kind of rebuild it and append shipping ATAs to it, even though a lot of those values are just kind of coming out of the BigCommerce server as is, and we can't change the HTML markup coming from you guys, but we can, on page load, modify it to make it a little bit more friendly for our customers.
So for the most part, you modify it to have a little bit more explanation around the shipping options. You're muted.
And I'm sorry, what?
Here, it took a second for you to get unmuted for some reason. So could you start over? I'm sorry.
No, yeah, basically just clarifying shipping options really well. That was, and honestly, we've had to go back and revisit that recently a couple of times to just make sure that that's really nailed down and that the customers are getting the information that they want. It's kind of surprising how ridiculously clear you have to be for a certain subset of people. And then another thing that actually I think helps instill confidence in your customer when they're purchasing something is showing them links to your policy page and your customer service page and your contact information on the cart page. They're not very likely to actually click on it at that point, but then knowing you have it it helps instill confidence in the buyer that you're not just going to take their money and run.
And I think most of, at least our most templates out there as well, do always have the links at least the top or along the side to get to the resources too, so they're not hiding. Is that what you're referring to?
I'm sorry, what?
I was just, I know, Jess, there's a little bit of an echo. So when you were saying about making sure all the links to your additional contact information, resource pages, are you more so referring to the actual design template, making sure those tabs are available and links, or are you talking about linking them on the page as well?
Yeah, just making sure, no, linking them on the actual checkout page. So, I mean, it's one thing to have the page there, but it's another thing to have the customer actually see that, from the checkout page, because throughout the process of actually adding the item to their cart and going to checkout, they're probably not going to look at your customer service page. They're not going to look at your policy page. They're not going to see that stuff. But when they get to the cart page and they're kind of like, do I want to buy this or not? And they see, here's our 30-day return policy info, and here's our phone number, here's our email address. They're not going to really have as much trouble trusting you at that point because they know that stuff is going to be there for them. And then also ensure guest checkout is enabled, because I believe you can still disable that in BigCommerce technically. That's kind of a big one because you'll lose a lot of conversions just from not having that enabled.
Oh my gosh, I was like, oh my god, that's right, yes. I'm writing it down. Love it.
We actually have a question from the audience.
And
Oh, sorry, we actually have a question from the audience from Jennifer, directed directly at Austin. When you built your real-time shipping delivery estimate, did you do that yourself, or did you use an app?
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
Jennifer from the audience was asking, how did you build your real-time shipping delivery?
The real-time shipping, so basically what warns them if they've passed our cutoff. So we developed that on Node.js, which is a server-side framework. We basically just built a URL that when you connect to it, it returns the time of our current location, or essentially the time zone of here, where we ship from. And then on the page itself, we calculate what time it is essentially, and if they're before or after that cutoff with JavaScript, and display a message depending on if that's applicable or not.
well, who was that question from, Jess?
Jennifer?
Jennifer, just let us know if you need more information. We can dive back into it as well. So, Dunya, tell us what you do, if anything, to kind of optimize that checkout experience, make sure people feel really confident, so that hopefully you don't have to send quite as many abandoned cart emails because they're checking out instead of abandoning.
I basically, whatever BigCommerce offer me, I just make sure that at the beginning I only have Express PayPal. So people want to use different credit cards and stuff. So I got the PayPal account where they could use any credit card. They don't have to have a PayPal account in order to make a purchase. And I also have my return policy, which is 15 days. Like that, because sometimes when you don't allow returns, they're hesitant to purchase something because it's children's clothes. They don't know if they're gonna fit right, if they're gonna like it when they get. So I have no problem. They like to see the return policy, and also if they have any problem, they have any question, they can call me, email me, and I make sure that those emails are answered right away. I'm in my email almost all day, all night. I answer emails at night, so it's very helpful, the customer service. But I don't do anything special in the checkout. I manage the website by myself, so anything special is just whatever BigCommerce offers. Really, it's been enough.
Ah, nice. So, Jess, did you get that question from Jeremy? You can pitch it if you like.
Sure. Great question coming on. Do any of you guys use any affiliate pop-ups such as Upsell It or Yieldify when it comes to improving abandoned carts?
I've never heard of it, actually.
Not here.
Do any of you guys use any apps, plugins?
I used it once. I don't remember what the name was, but it was a pop-up that when people were leaving, like the cart without leaving the cart, it will show like a discount. But I didn't like how the way it worked because like some people abandon the cart to come back later, or they got busy and went to do something and will come back. So I didn't like the idea of the pop-up showing as soon as they were leaving the car. So I think if they abandon the car, the email that they get after is working fine. Is more than enough.
And you can set up different cadences and things like that. So I'm interested to know if that's something, Jeremy, if that's what you're using, if you've seen benefits, or if you're thinking about using it. So let us know if you have more questions other than that. Great. Thanks. So question number 2, right along. Actually, wow, we spent a lot of time on that one. I have like a laundry list of ideas. This is super great. I love it. So no matter what you do, as we discussed, there will always be abandoned carts, and people will slip through the cracks. So it sounds like most of you have been using the abandoned cart feature for some time, but Greg, did you say you've only recently gotten the abandoned cart feature?
Yeah, we probably added it maybe 3 months ago, I guess. So when I looked through the options, my initial thoughts were to go ahead and remove the coupon, because I know what I would do. I would game the system, and I was worried about our customers also doing that as well. So we took out the coupon, and we also disabled the 1-hour email notification, because we didn't want to come across as being too spammy. So we're doing, I guess, the 1-day and the 3-day. And that's the way we've been running it the entire time, and we have had some good success. So I haven't really done any A/B testing to see if coupons or changing the cadence has helped. But so far, this has been working pretty well for us.
You've only been on it a short time, too, which is really great. I love it. Anybody else, as far as how long you've been on the abandoned cart saver? Benefits? Would you ever go away?
I've been using it for about 2 years, I believe, and in that 2 years, I have had a little above 50% of out of 3,300 orders abandoned. I have had 1,700 converting.
Crazy.
So for me, it has. I think that's a good conversion rate.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said, I want to make sure I get this right. So it's 3,300 orders have been abandoned, and you've recovered 1,700?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I might be stealing that quote, because that's pretty awesome.
And the coupon, like I say, I offer the coupon, but it's only one-time use. If you abandon the cart once, like Greg said, they come back and abandon it again just to get that coupon. If you can afford to, to give them a 5-10%, even if you abandon the coupon, but I hate people to do that, because, it's like, it's not fair, I guess. But my coupon only can be used once. I have had people that, have done that before, and I check to see if they have used it before, and I email them and I tell them, unfortunately, you have already used that coupon in the abandoned cart, and it's not, you're not able to use it twice, and they purchase either way.
That's almost half of your business. That's insane.
Yes.
I can't even get over that. So you're roughly 15% of business is fine.
I was going to say, if you want some more stats, I could share ours as well.
You're willing.
So it looks like we started abandoned cart saver on August 12th. So it's only really been about, I guess it's about, I don't know, almost 2 months. And it shows we have had 643 abandoned carts and recovered 68 of them. So that's 10% for about $6,000 in sales over that period of time.
What would you say, 86 of them?
68 of the 643. So it's about 10%.
Oh my gosh.
I've got some numbers for you too, if you want.
I love this. This is crazy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So 2012, December 9th is when we started with ecommerce. Since then, we have, let's see here, we've got a total of 28,171 abandoned carts with a total of 5,654 recovered, so a little over 20%.
Crazy.
With about $500,000 of revenue to back it.
I think I might be following up with you guys, like with the snippets, so you guys can fill it out, and we can have a little. Oh my God, I'm so excited! This is great. I love it. You can't ignore stats like that. We've got like half of the business, $6,000, and then $500,000 with 20%. 15% is usually about industry average. You guys are either greatly exceeding that, or you're basically right on target. Especially if you've only been up for 2 months, Greg, you're probably seeing some of that stuff trickle in, and unbelievable, crazy. anyone out there in the audience is debating about turning this feature on? Really? Debating? I understand. So let's see. The next question was very much like, what are the results? Which sounds like most of you, would you guys agree the results are pretty immediate, or did it take some time, especially you folks who've been around a little while, did it take some time to see that benefit, or did it kind of result right away? Honesty is great.
I saw the results right away. I saw the results right away. Every month, 200 abandoned cars, and I will get 75, converted. So for me, I saw the results right away.
Right away.
Yeah, for us, the results are usually pretty quick. I mean, I pretty much think that once the email sat in their inbox for 24 hours, it's safe to say that they haven't seen it if they haven't seen it, and they're not going to see it at that point. So if it doesn't work in the first 24 hours, it's probably not going to with the way marketing is now.
I like it.
So I guess one thing what's curious listening to your guys' stats is that I believe you're both running coupons and you have higher abandoned cart returns than I do. So maybe it's worth trying. Since I've got a couple months of stats in there, maybe I'll enable a coupon for something like the third day and see what it starts to do for that percentage. Because I'm happy with 10% returns. Like I said, it's worthwhile. But if I can get even more, then we'll see how it goes. We'll try the coupon or something.
I started with a free shipping coupon, and then since like I said, after 50 my shipping is free. Then I start with a 5% coupon. So even if you do a little coupon, it doesn't have to be a lot. Just whatever you could afford to give. Whatever discount you can afford to give.
And that's the thing too, is like, oh, I don't want to give away a coupon. How can I do that? How's it going to impact my business? But it sounds like we have 50% conversions, 20% conversions with a coupon versus 10. I mean, in the long run, you're more than likely, you have to crush the numbers for your business. You're probably making more money than you're losing, including a 10% discount code or getting free shipping, some sort of an advantage offer. So even if your client, sounds like, again, always crunch your numbers, but it sounds like even if your clients or shoppers tend to catch on to the system, it's still working to your advantage. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. I guess my question about doing free shipping is we do a lot of international orders, and is there a way to obviously not give free shipping for the very expensive international orders?
Yes, there is. I've had to deal with that. You can set up shipping zones very specifically for international and domestic, and you can apply coupons separately.
Okay. Yeah, because we kind of would want our customers to benefit equally, and we wouldn't want one customer to feel like they're getting a lesser benefit than someone else. So maybe
it can cost you like $4 to ship something one state over, and it can cost you, $90 to ship something to the other side of the world. So that you can't just offer free shipping blindly.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if there's anybody in the audience has any thoughts on coupon codes or personal experiences. So question from Jennifer from the audience. Has anyone looked at their abandoned cart email notifications you receive? 80% of my orders are spam orders from false emails and false customers. Is anyone else seeing the same thing? It's throwing off my abandoned cart analytics. So basically false orders coming in. Is that something anyone's seeing at all?
What do you mean by false orders?
Yeah, how would you get a how do you get a payment from someone who's not real?
I'm not sure. 80% of my orders are spam orders from false emails and false customers.
My order.
Gave you money. That looks like a real customer to me. I'm kind of confused there. I mean, if the transaction has been completed, how are they a fake customer?
I'm wondering the same. So Jen, if you can give us a little bit more information, or maybe Jess and I can take it offline. I know what comes back. Is that fun with Jess?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, let us know if we can keep on with that or not. Awesome, thanks Jennifer. This is a good one because we've kind of alluded and talked about it a whole bunch, but I'm interested to know, especially those of you who have abandoned cart for a while and you've explored some options, what is the most effective cadence for you? It might be completely different for all of you. So Austin, maybe what cadence do you try? Like what time you have your set?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the last part.
What time do you have your email set? Is it you have an hour and then 24 hours and you stop, or you just have the 24-hour email? Do you have 4 emails? Like, how do you have the cadence set up for your emails?
I personally think that bothering a customer 3 times about something like that is going to greatly increase your unsubscribe rate. I sadly can't get analytics on that, but I would be pretty pissed getting 3 emails from an abandoned cart saver. That's all I'm saying. 2 is pushing it even, but it seems to work pretty strong. 4 hours and 48 hours are our two marks. Once, well, it's very fresh in their mind, perhaps maybe they just stepped away from their computer and forgot, and then once, maybe they were waiting for payment. And, we're trying to get them a couple of days later or whatever's going on with that. And then after that, we kind of just consider it a loss.
Cool.
I'm looking at mine to see, to make sure when I send them.
I'm sorry, what?
She's just taking a look to see when she sends her emails. Greg, do you have any thoughts or cadence you like?
Like I said, since we're fairly new to it, we did disable the initial 1 hour. We kept the 1 and the 3, but I like Austin's idea of shortening the first one a little bit so it's a little more fresh on their mind. So I think I'm going to make that change to 4 hours and then probably do another one in 3 days and then add the coupon on the 3-day email and see how that goes from there. I'll watch it for another couple of months and see if we get some improvements.
So definitely, I think the agreement is like 1 immediate, which seems like everybody's doing it. But just, I think, Dunya, you said you have 1 at 1 hour. I know you're verifying too.
I have 1 in 1 hour, after an hour, and then I have the other one after 12 hours.
Okay, that's it.
That's it. And the first one goes with nothing, with no coupon, and the second one goes with a coupon.
Is that what, at least Austin, do you do that as well? Do you put the coupon in the second or the first or any? Austin, you there?
I forgot I muted myself. Oh, we put it in both.
Sorry, what's that?
We put it in both.
Both. Okay, interesting. Huh.
I think I understand what was it Jennifer was asking earlier about the spam orders. She might be talking about bounced emails returned from bad email addresses, so maybe not completed orders, just lots of return emails from bad abandoned cart notifications.
They put in a false email address so that they don't get bothered. I do that.
Yeah, maybe that's what she's talking about.
Maybe.
What kind of business is she running where 80% of her customers don't want to leave an email address?
I'm not sure. Maybe she's just doing poo-poo business. Who knows?
That's interesting. If you're 80% of your customers aren't leaving a valid email address.
I mean, we're just brainstorming here. We don't know if that's the issue or not, but I can't think of anything else that's kind of goofy. I wonder if that's something like our technical team can help out with.
Page or something. Like regex to make sure that they are giving you something that's technically a valid email at the very least.
Yeah.
I get those emails, but in orders itself, if the customer wrote the email wrong or something, and they're not getting their confirmation, their order confirmation, but I don't have anything like that.
I don't know, Jess, is that something that you've seen before? Because I know I haven't.
I mean, the only other thing I could possibly think that might be causing that is if Jennifer might be confusing abandoned orders and abandoned carts, whereas you have something called abandoned orders, which are pretty much completely separate from the abandoned carts, and in that case scenario, there's actually a really great thread in our forum that kind of goes over the difference between the two, and I'm happy to go follow up with Jennifer after this as well.
Okay. That sounds like best to try and figure out at least what's going on and then give her some direction as to what to go to next. So thanks for bringing that back up, Greg. That's helpful. All right. Ooh, this is a good one. Nobody ever knows what to put in their abandoned cart email. What I've found is that most people just keep our template and then customize it a little bit to reflect the business and don't do a whole lot. Do you guys do anything like fun, different, tactical with the content that you give within your email? What tactics do you take? Anybody? Whoever wants to build it.
Well, I'll chime in once again as the default guy. It is the basically keeping it the way you guys have set it up. I think I've customized a few things in there, but really I'd like to go through, and that's something that was on my list to look at, but I haven't done it yet.
Okay. You're just using the standard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One thing.
10% return, as a matter of fact.
One thing we've done with the content on those emails is we've included a little link for people who may have been having trouble placing an order for whatever reason, whether maybe there was an error in checkout or they had a problem with PayPal or whatever might be happening, as well as our customer service links in case that was the case. Maybe they just want to contact us directly that way. Also, we removed our social media links from that email. We sent them out to every email except that one, because we noticed if you're spamming a customer and it has your social media links in there, they may be inclined to bother you about it on your social media pages. Even if it's only 2 emails you sent them about an abandoned cart saver. You'd be surprised how pissed off people will get and what they will post on your Facebook page.
Correct. Link to your social media channels. That's funny. And that's a real-time business owner type deal. Like, that was not an issue when I was running my own business. That's interesting.
And I don't think ours has the social media links in there, at least not in the defaults that I've got, but I'll look again and see, maybe send myself a sample. Because
by default, they aren't in the OEM BigCommerce code. We added those in. We basically just made a bunch of HTML elements that are links to the social media pages. You can probably even steal someone else's code online and modify it.
Yeah.
Including feedback. So I love that idea of actually including a link in case you have issues. Basically, you have like a contact us form in there. Did I understand that right?
I do have a link. I have to send me an email or to call me on the business hours, because sometimes they do have problems paying with PayPal or completing the transaction for any reason. And if they're having that, they could call and pay over the phone.
Okay.
I don't receive many of those. I receive emails,
Hey, every last bit counts. So those few people who do want to talk to someone, it's nice if they have that number there, just helping them out. So, Austin, you said, what is it exactly that you link to? Do you link to a contact us form or email submission, or what does that look like for your feedback?
I made a custom page that basically is just like a few kind of common reasons why people are having trouble ordering in the solutions forum, and that page. And then that page also includes customer service contacts in case you're still having issues. I think that even has a contact form on it, but just a real simple, content page that has some good information on why they might be having trouble, and help them get in contact with someone in case they're still having trouble.
I mean, what would you guys think of doing something so simple like SurveyMonkey or Survey Gizmo? They have these survey tools where it's like, just asking for feedback, like why did you, what made you not want to purchase today, or something like that. It could be like, you could add some options like, you needed your website, technical issues, can you give me a call? Like, it could be something. I don't know if that would scale. I think that would help people as they're getting started, and it's just kind of a fuel, understanding what the trouble is with their clients so they know how to make adjustments down the road. I don't know if it's a terrible idea or not.
Yeah, we've actually put out a Google Docs form on a few of our different emails to see, like, why didn't you order, kind of thing. And we got a lot of garbage from customers.
Okay.
We didn't ever get a lot of good data out of it, but I mean, I think that might be somewhat just because of the exact industry we are in. I mean, that could definitely work for some companies, but for us, we didn't get a lot of useful data out of it.
Was it more like, of course, it's like, I don't know, I'm just trying to break where they're like, it's not sexy enough or something.
Sell, nor did we want to sell. It's usually that kind of stuff. You don't have this. Well, we're not trying to sell that, or it's usually just a bunch of spam, basically, from what we saw. It wasn't ever useful data for us. And then a lot of people just complaining about whatever bad experience that they had, I guess, that kind of stuff. So, but for us it didn't work, but I'm sure for certain businesses it could.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Any other ideas or thoughts on that of what to include in your emails? Coupons, of course.
Well, I would certainly be curious about the feedback on abandoned cart. I'd be curious to know if people abandoned because they felt that shipping costs were too high or something valid like that we could actually maybe work on updating, but I can certainly see how you might have to wade through a lot of invalid feedback to get some of that information. So I don't know what the answer is, but I would see some value in it if we had some way of collecting that, I think.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's something as simple as like you just have 2 questions, one of which is a drop-down like shipping costs were too high, didn't have the product I wanted. Like, organize it so you get the feedback you need, and then of course you can put other and have an actual a short answer question so they can let loose if they need to. And you might get some value there, but at least you get some sort of drop-down menu, and you can kind of calculate those together. should always have some sort of short answer so people can speak their mind because they love to do so, which can add value, but can be something like poor Austin. He's like, you need to sell this product. It makes sense, and which could be great if you want to expand your line. But if that's not your business plan, that's not your business plan. So it just depends on your business, I suppose. Question from Mike. Follow up with a personal email. Excuse me. I follow up with a personal email from the abandoned cart email notice, and the #1 reply is the shipping price is too high. While our products are slightly heavier than comparable Chinese-made garbage, our shipping prices are reduced to our discounted UPS. I might just say people are always looking for a free handout on shipping. It's becoming a huge trend. I don't know if anyone else has any other thoughts on why people would give that much feedback on for shipping cost.
A lot of people offering free shipping in my kind of business. So I tried once offering free shipping, and really it didn't make any difference because I can offer free shipping. I was doing it was raising the price a little bit, but it didn't make any difference. So I went back to charging shipping and reducing the price of the item. And I charge, my shipping is no more than $5, I think, is that the maximum. And then if they want to upgrade to, 2 days delivery or priority, whatever, then it's a little more. But my shipping is between $3 and $5 because most people order, 2-3 dresses. It won't cost me more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So did I understand the question right, that this particular merchant is looking for a better solution for shipping because he ships a lot of heavy items and it's expensive?
Well, the cool thing is that people are complaining about shipping that the price is too high, but apparently our products are slightly heavier than comparable Chinese-made garbage, and shipping prices are actually reduced. So I'm wondering if it's more of using a lot of your tactics to be proactive and say, hey, if you go get this stuff elsewhere, it's going to cost you this much. We charge this much because we love you, or whatever. I don't know, Austin, if you have kind of thoughts on that. You seem like your tactics around shipping did that really well.
I'm still kind of confused at the question. I'm sorry. So is he trying to find a better method to give his customers cheaper shipping, or what is the desired result here?
I'm not sure that it's necessarily clear. If, Mike, you want to ask like a formal question, it says, I follow up with a personal email. He's kind of giving an example, but it's more like the response is the shipping price is too high. So I'm not necessarily seeing a question, but my suggestion would be to be more proactive in your messaging on your website and try and get people to not then have that result. I'm guessing that's what he's looking for.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought so it's more like how to handle when your shipping prices are high.
Yeah, like what else can you do to get people to stop saying that and be happy?
It depends what they sell. If the things are heavy, it depends what they sell. My shipping one of my items is no more than $10. Even if they buy, $100, $200 in an order, it's no more than $10.
Yeah, I think to me, I don't know how proactive you are, Mike, on your site. I think it's very much about making sure that they're aware of if they went elsewhere, they would be charged this much. We have done a great deal of research to offer the best price possible. Here's our shipping and returns policy. Here's how much it costs, and then setting expectations on the page. So you want me to do some tactics like Austin, where he actually includes links on the checkout page, maybe even have a little bit of information or a link to your shipping policy page in your abandoned cart email, so people are really aware and always seeing, hey, it may seem like we're expensive, but we're really not going to save you money, because if you go elsewhere, they're going to burn you. I'm not. That would be the first step I'd take if you haven't done so already.
Also look into FedEx One Rate, because they'll probably beat USPS prices on heavy things.
And that's a good one too. Do both. Even better. I love it. You said FedEx One?
FedEx One Rate. It's a pretty new service from them. It's kind of their flat rate solution, essentially. It's what they're using to compete with USPS regional rate. The only disadvantage is you do have to ship the package using the online form. The good news is you can use bookmarklets that integrate with ecommerce to fill out the form for you instantly.
Ooh.
So you can basically use this new shipping system without an API and get super, super cheap rates for heavy packages in some cases. I don't know how heavy he's talking about, but they have a lot of different options.
I love it. Writing it down.
Yes, the station does support it. Thank you, Greg. I forgot about that. They emailed me about that last week.
Ooh. So, yay. Okay, perfect. So we're actually kind of coming to a close. Last question. So to the audience, if you've got questions, please pose them to Jess, and we'll get them to the audience today. But closing thoughts, words of wisdom from our audience around how you've optimized your store for conversions, abandoned carts, just final closing thoughts or maybe missteps that you've taken along the road and wish you wouldn't have, that you'd like to impart wisdom onto our audience members. So if anyone has any closing thoughts, that would be lovely.
Sure. I mean, I'll go ahead and say I think it's definitely worthwhile trying out the abandoned cart saver. I mean, it's sort of one of those no-brainers, and BigCommerce doesn't require a contract. You can always try it. If you're not happy, you can always go back. But we saw immediate results within the first couple of days, and it's something you can really easily evaluate and see if it's working for you. So there's really no reason not to try it. And as I've learned on this particular Hangout, that it does make sense to maybe try some different timings on sending out those emails, and so I'm certainly going to experiment with that too and see how that affects my sales.
I have the same opinion as, try it. It doesn't hurt if it doesn't work for you. I mean, the difference in the cost of BigCommerce for, the plan is not that much. If it doesn't work for you, you can always, disable it. If you have, if you get even a 5-10% return, it's worth the try.
I'm typing all day. I'm so slow now. So, Austin, do you have any closing thoughts or words of wisdom?
Yeah. Well, really, you got to just learn the secrets of the sifting sands. There's a lot of trial and error, and every store is different. But your customers will tell you what they like and what they do not. They'll be very clear and honest about that, actually. So that's the number one thing I think that we try and take care of is make sure that our customers are really happy with their experience. So if we get a number of calls about this same kind of experience that was bad for a customer, then we'll figure out why it's happening and figure out how to make it not happen again. Because we want to make sure that everyone has the best experience they can at our company, and that's why we have a 5% conversion rate.
What?
So,
insane.
Yeah, we try and just make our customers happy as much as possible and let them kind of shape the business because they're the ones paying the bills really when it comes down to it. We need to make them happy, otherwise they're not going to buy from us again.
Nice. So you've got a 5% conversion rate on your store, and then let's see, 5,000.
Can I have your phone number and call you tomorrow? I need some secrets there. 5%, that's amazing.
5% conversion rate, total of $28,000, which is 5 in recovery, which is 20% at $500,000. That is nuts. Kudos. I am impressed. So I'm not seeing any questions coming in from the audience. Oh, Greg, I'm sorry. Did you get a long day? Everybody, Dunya, closing thoughts? I'm losing my mind here. So sorry.
I'm sorry. What?
Just any last kind of closing thoughts or words of wisdom? I'm pretty sure we got everybody, but just wanted to be sure.
I mean, if you don't have, if you don't have a lot of abandoned car, at one point I was, going through every morning. I will see my abandoned orders, and the email is right there. I will send them a personal email. Please let me know if you had a problem. What was the issue? Something.
Yeah.
In general, more personal, because it comes from, from the, it's not an automatic email, it's, something that you're sending more personal. And, but if you have a lot of abandoned cars a day, I mean, that's impossible to do, send personal emails. But if you have a few, that's another thing you could try. Because sometimes people abandon the car, but they have started another car. So I like to see if that person have an order also. If they have an order, that means that they were, like playing with two cars at the same time, or they abandoned one and then started again, so it's a little tricky there too.
So awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for having some side conversations here, too. Thank you guys so much for coming out today. So appreciate your time and energy and words of wisdom and having fun for a whole 46 minutes. Appreciate it. Let's see. Good stuff. Not any outstanding questions, Jess? Are you thinking me through?
We're good.
Okay, so thank you, audience. Thank you guys so much for your time today and for panelists.
Okay.
Definitely Jess and I will be following up with you with some information, maybe some additional requests as well. But have a super good night, and again, thank you so much for joining us today. Very much appreciate it.
Thank you.